Hey everyone, welcome back to Arc Party. I'm Rob. I am the host, and this is the second time I'm doing horror TBR episode. And so what those are I take whatever month is coming up, or in this case has just started, and I have a guest on to talk about some of the books that are coming out in that month, some of the horror books in that month that we're looking forward to talking about. So my guest this time is Mitch Hull from Rapture Publishing, and
That's right.
Rapture represent. I got my Rapture shirt on. You can see how much I've worn it.
This is my
Mitch has the meat chip. Very nice shirt. So we're both. This isn't. This wasn't me sucking up to you. I actually was just wearing this today, so I was like, "Well, I'll just leave it on."
I actually would appreciate it more if you were sucking up to me.
No, I'm not going to give you that satisfaction. So, but So Mitch has come up with a list of books in August that he's looking forward to. I have a list of books in August I'm looking forward to. We're going to go back and forth talking about those. But first, I'm going to thank Mitch for coming on. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me.
And I want to give Mitch some time to talk about some big news that came out. So not so long ago, I think about a week ago, you made a big announcement for Rapture that I think is it has kind of shaken the world of indie horror publishing. So what would you like to share about your big news?
Yeah, so Rapture Publishing has partnered with Shortwave Publishing and Alan Lastupka. Very excited. We partnered and created basically an imprint of Shortwave that's called Rapture Trade. And we'll be releasing trade edition novels and collections and novellas that also has Simon & Schuster distribution. So it's basically everything that I'm going to be doing on the trade edition side will get a really nice marketing push through all of those distribution channels that Simon & Schuster have and that Shortwave has. So it's just an absolute game changer for what I've been doing, and I'm so thankful to Alan for I can't remember the exact way that it came about, but the fact that we were able to work something out and that we're something that we can both benefit from is just super exciting. And it's really good for, I would say, the landscape of, just weird fiction and horror, stuff like that.
So I'm not going to take credit, but I'm just going to point out for anybody who may not know, back when StokerCon had not happened yet, I got Mitch involved in a virtual StokerCon panel for chapbooks, which I kind of roped you into and then made you the moderator for. And we also got Alan involved in that. So there was a call that we were all on where that got recorded, and I was like, hey, you guys should do some work together. And you didn't say, oh, we've already talked about that. So since you didn't specifically say that, I'm going to say it's possible.
In your headcanon, I agree. I think you should believe that. I will say that after that recording, Alan and I stayed on and we talked for probably 2 hours about in-depth trade, what that would look like. Granted, we might have had conversations in the past, but I don't think they were more jokes. It was more like, oh, that'd be cool. But then when you said it, that's when we were like, oh, wait, actually. And then we talked for 2 hours and fell in love. Well, not fall in love. Chris is listening to this. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
For any of our listeners, Chris Panettiere is a very jealous person, so we got to be careful who we say we love.
So I'm in like with Alan.
I like that.
I'm in like, and but we're gonna do some really cool stuff. We haven't announced titles yet, but some of the authors that we've announced are Gemma Amor, Tyler Jones, and Keelan Patrick Burke. Those are going to be the first three, and I'm working on another one that I'm not going to give any details, but I think that one's also going to come out next year. And so that's a scoop. That's an ARC Party scoop. Yeah, you're welcome. Don't tell anybody.
One thing, so you're on the August horror TBR episode. We're going to be talking about August releases. But, like not too long ago, I did my second half of 2026 kind of, episode with Becky Spradford and Emily Hughes. And originally for August, one of the books that I was looking forward to was Arson by Design by Tyler Jones. And the original release date was in August, before you guys kind of, I guess, inked your contract or whatever, where I'm assuming the reason that this is now coming out next year is to take advantage of the new setup with distribution through Simon & Schuster and more marketing and everything. So Tyler's going to have more exposure that way than otherwise. So
way more. Way more.
This was one of my August picks. And now it can't be an August pick.
August pick no more.
It's a 2027 pick. However, now my question is: are you gonna have a whole like boat of new arcs when that leading up to when that comes out?
I think I'm gonna do another arc for that because I'm changing the trim size. So the trim on that one, I can't remember what it is, but it was. We're going a little smaller so I can match Shortwave's trades. And so if you have all of Shortwave stuff lined up, then you can put Rapture right beside it, and they'll be uniform. So they're a little smaller. So I have to do a whole new format, interior format for that. But what's funny is in doing that arc, I had fun with the formatting and the trade paperback, because I already formatted the new trade paperback. And it's drastically different interior, but it's really cool. And then we did this deal, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to format that entire book again. So that's cool, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be worth it. And another fun thing that we decided to do, and I haven't really announced this yet. So this Scoop is another dude. We're just scoop-a-looping, bro. The limited edition, the deluxe edition of Arson by Design is still going to come out this year, and it'll be the end of the year. But I am increasing the print run by 40, so it's going to, instead of 260, it's going to be 300. But I'm upgrading the materials on it. I kept going back and forth because with that book, Daytide was expensive. Daytide was very expensive, and I also had a printing error that made it way more expensive. And so I was trying to find another printer that could give me exactly what I'm looking for, but in a lower print run, and maybe don't have all the bells and whistles that Daytide had, but still be a really high quality book. But now with all of this happening, I'm like, let's just go for it. Let's just have fun. And so I'm upgrading everything on Arson because I am a psycho. And but with that, I increased the print run just so I could cut down on costs a little bit, because the more you print, the cheaper they are per book. And so increasing it to 300, I'm going to do like colored end sheets. Tyler's adding a couple extra stories that will only be found in the deluxe, that will not be in the trade. And then I'm going to do like the stamped boards. It's going to be the same exact book as Daytide, basically, with colored end sheets, color 6 sheet, interior art throughout. Not as many as that were in Daytide, obviously. That was 20 plus interior illustrations. But this one will have, I think we're looking at like 7 or 8 interior illustrations. So it'll still be really, have a lot of good art in it.
I think I ordered one of those. Pretty sure I ordered one of those.
I think so. You might as well just order it again, just in case.
Or I could just go through my emails and look for like.
No, I wouldn't mess with that. That's just a waste of time. Just buy another one.
That would be me taking the opportunity from someone else to order one. So
that's true. But then if it's anything like Daytide, whenever Daytide sold out, those things were selling on eBay for like $250.
That's crazy.
Bananas.
I was looking to see if there was anything I could brag about, like anything rare that I could talk about, because it's kind of a thing that we do.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this would be kind of a funny, goofy one because it's not really that exciting. But I have a book that sells on eBay for anywhere from like $70 to like $200. And it is the signed Book of Elsewhere by China Mieville and Keanu Reeves.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got one of those.
That's awesome.
Signed by both of them.
That's so cool. God, I love Keanu Reeves.
So, but I'm like, that's just kind of like bought it at a Barnes and Noble. So it's not like,
no, that's really cool.
Story. But yeah, anyway,
I love that for you.
So yeah, it's on the bottom shelf. It's like somewhere, like somewhere over here, I think.
Well, you got a Barnes and Noble, even though it's got value, that can't be a top. It's not daytime.
Top shelf. It's not daytime. It's not faced out on the top shelf like daytime. You ready to talk about some August books?
Let's talk about some August books.
We gave you some plugs. I should get a fucking waffle cone with all the scoops you're giving me.
You really should, or at least a bowl.
Or at least a bowl. Yeah. No carbs. I'm type 2 diabetic. I need to dodge those carbs.
Cut down on the carbs, bro.
So this is Mitch's first time doing a horror TBR episode.
Yeah,
so the format, basically, we're just going to alternate. I'm going to talk about a book I'm looking forward to real quick. We're going to keep it short because there's like a dozen books we're going to talk about. So we'll just keep it short. If you got something to add, you can add it. If not, you can just go into your book. But that's kind of how it's going to go.
Cool.
And if you're listening, I usually post on my, Instagram and stuff, little updates with like what books are coming out this month and everything. So I'll have little posts about the books that we talked about. And usually I put together a bookshop.org list that's got links to pre-order everything. So that'll be in my link tree in my bio for anybody who's listening who wants to get some of these books. And it's my show, so I'm going to kick it off.
That's fine.
First book I want to talk about, actually. What's that?
I said Age Before Beauty.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. We're in that phase of our love affair now. So we're recording this on August 5th. So we're already kind of almost a week into the month by the time this episode's going to post.
And also August 5th, if you I don't know when you guys are listening to this, but that was a very boring, dull day in the horror world.
I am so tired. We can briefly acknowledge this. I'm so exhausted from today. For anybody listening, August 5th, 2026 was
a day which will live in infamy.
So the 4th, the Horror Writers Association put out its regular newsletter, and within that newsletter was an op-ed written by a trustee of the Horror Writers Association, which was weirdly like aggressively pro AI, and called people who were anti-AI bullies and gatekeepers, and really had some kind of bizarre, baffling, I think is the best way to say, the stances and the arguments. And at one point they somehow took like the suffering of indigenous people and used it to like score points for their argument or something. And you have to read it to really understand. And so
the most tone deaf thing I've ever read in my life.
Oh my God. And so that newsletter went out yesterday, but the scandal it was like a wildfire today. Everybody, like people who usually don't speak up with these kind of like weird horror community beefs, everybody had an opinion about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like really, it was really, really, it got pretty crazy.
It did. It was why I even got involved. And, I don't get involved too much.
Yeah.
But I had to. And also it's like, this is such a black and white thing, like there's no gray area with AI, Gen AI. And so I felt very comfortable and confident being like, this is so stupid. Like, this is so dumb. So yeah, it was an exciting day, exhausting day. And the HWA had a very good response, and that person is no longer a trustee, which was the minimum that should have happened.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that he was even put in the newsletter, but they rectified the situation.
Yep. They did what was right.
Yeah.
And I have to say that, like, I have seen how responses have happened in the past to other things, and this was fast. Like, this was compared to some of the durations between incident and addressing the incident that I've seen with HWA. This one was pretty quick. I will say though that since I've done volunteering stuff with StokerCon and HWA a bit, I've been on some of those committee calls and stuff. It's just they're so spread thin that I guarantee this got into a newsletter because it was a trustee that wrote it. So whoever is the one single person who's probably one of their many volunteer duties is to manage the newsletter was like, it's from a trustee. I'm just throwing it in. I'm not going to look at it. And they probably never vetted it because it's from a trustee. Like,
I don't think they did. I think that trustee trusted the trustee.
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Trust is in the title. They broke the trust. The trustee broke the trust. And so and obviously HWA has a duty to its members to make sure that things like that don't happen. 100%.
Yeah.
But again, stretched thin. And that's not me making. I can see myself in that situation where if I was one of the people at the top, I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on, this. Because I'm looking at the 9 fires that I'm doing a good job of putting out, and then this trustee has to drop this bullshit in my backyard. Like,
it was a bomb, bro.
Yeah. So empathy for the Horror Writers Association. I'm happy that they so swiftly addressed the situation and took action. Oh, yeah. And I just kind of feel bad for them because I know that I can just picture, I can see their faces where they're just like, oh.
They woke up that day like, it's going to be a nice
yes.
August 5th.
August 5th, my favorite day. No. So, but then the other thing that I watched a lot of the online discourse and everything, and people rightfully upset. I think that it is something that people should get worked up about and fight against.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of the people saying not going to be a member anymore, and I'm not going to do anything with the HWA anymore. And if you want my opinion, that's the exact time where you lean in and you become more involved.
How can I help?
Yes. If you're seeing problems for an organization that is a membership organization, it's a not-for-profit, and you're seeing that organization that represents you not doing what you need them to, take over the newsletter.
Yep.
There's an open trustee spot now. Become a trustee. And I hate to say it because it sounds so hippie, but be the change that you want to see.
Exactly.
If you want to see the organization do better, pitch in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But fucking exhausted, man.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. I did not have a very productive day.
It inspired me to post clips from my recent conversation with Paul Tremblay. We were talking about Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep, where he had some really, really kind of poignant thoughts about AI that completely address specifically this situation. So I posted that. And Mariana Enriquez liked it and shared it on her story. And I was like, what?
That's awesome. So, we should have got her on the podcast tonight.
I should have messaged her just to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're talking TBR.
Do you got any books coming out in August? My Mariana Enriquez collection is out of sight, but it's there.
Oh, you would have put it in the background though. If
Yeah.
we got that one.
Yeah.
Right behind Daytide.
All right, let's talk some August books. Let's get this done. We got 12 books to talk about. All right, so this is the first book I want to talk about for August. And like I said, since we already are kind of a pinch into this week, or into this month, this book came out yesterday on the fabled newsletter day. This is the other release that happened yesterday. And that is, and so if you're listening, if you watch the video, I always have the kind of covers static on the screen so you can see them, but I'm going to hold it up anyway because I have a physical copy of this. Meat Bees by Dane Erbach. Yeah, this cover is, I almost want to look and see who has credit for this cover art. Joel Amat Gell. I'm not familiar, but great job.
Whoever you are.
Dane Erbach. I heard Dane on Macabre Daily's Paper Cuts podcast talking about this book, and that's when I discovered that the dude lives in like a couple towns over from me or whatever. So
no way.
I was like, oh, what the heck? So that's not the reason I bought it, but like hometown pride. The cover will just pull you in. Yeah. So congrats to him and Clash for this amazing cover. But here's the quick synopsis of it. By the time, oh, hang on, before I do that, I'm just going to point out at the very top, it just says
that's awesome.
Jaws with wasps. So like maybe that's all I have to say. Yeah. But like I was listening to this interview with him, and he was talking about how he had heard the term meat bees and looked it up, and apparently like it's a legitimate scientific term and it has to do with like bees that just like eat meat or something. I don't know, but
I've never heard that, but now I need to.
By the time Scarlett Sutton arrives at her dad's cabin in the Smoky Mountains, 2 locals have already been eaten alive by wasps. Of course, she doesn't know this yet. After he insists that she gets a job, Scarlett accepts a position at nearby Stovetop Outfitters, hoping to spend as much time away from him as possible. She doesn't expect to trip over a skeletonized corpse beneath the zip line during one of her shifts. The local sheriff's department is so overwhelmed by these unsolved deaths that when one of the Stovetop Outfitter employees disappears next, Scarlett and her coworkers set out to find him on their own. They discover something much more horrifying. A swarm of yellow jackets stripping the meat off his body. Scarlett never signed up to solve the disgusting mystery, but in order to protect her friends and family, she must defeat the mountain's darkness and all these godforsaken wasps. Meat Bees.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Jaws with wasps.
Jaws with wasps, bro.
So that's my first. That's available now, so you can go pick it up at your local bookstore.
Yeah, I need to go grab that. I always buy Clash books.
Clash is doing great work. It's not the only Clash title I'm going to be talking about tonight, I think.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing that, Rob. Now it's my turn. I have these listed in a list randomly, but I'm going to go in release date order. So the first I'm going to talk about is, where are you putting where are you going to put it on the screen? I want to point the cover.
Oh, it's between our faces, but I don't know what side you're going to be on.
Ooh, okay.
You're going to be.
It's okay. I'll point to both.
Point to your left, I think.
This is going to be Devil Inside by McLeod Chapman. Look at that cover. Boom. There it is. Clay's got Clay. I called you Clay. Rob's got the arc. That's a great compliment, by the way. I love Clay. I have not read this one yet, and that's a running theme for all of the books. I have not read them yet. But I cannot wait to read this one, because he said it's like a horror romance, which sounds insane. And my wife reads a lot of romance. So this is going to be like, I'm kind of dipping my toes in her waters a little bit. And I found this little blurb, and I'm going to read this. And I apologize, I have not read this blurb yet, so if I sound like an idiot, that is why. A man who's back from the dead meets a woman who's from somewhere even worse in this new horror-mance from the acclaimed author of Ghost Eaters about love, possession, and just a little murder. Perfect for fans of Rachel Harrison and Grady Hendrix, which I am fans of.
Same.
After a traumatic accident that almost cost Jordan his life, he's finally starting to feel normal again. Well, maybe not normal. Everything tastes like ash. And he looks at the people around him, their faces start to melt. At least he's not dead, right? His friends are doing their best to get him back on his feet. Maybe find someone to talk to. Perhaps even find someone to take his mind off his last failed relationship. Then he met Lilith. I do recognize the name Lilith, Rob. I don't know if you do. The two share an instant connection, but after a wild and passionate night together, she ghosts him. Jordan searches the city for Lilith, desperate to see her again. But when a woman claiming to be Lilith shows up, wearing a different face but knowing intimate details about Jordan, he worries he's losing his grip on reality. As he grows closer to this mysterious woman, he discovers that happily ever after sometimes comes at a cost. How far will Lilith take him, and how much darkness will he embrace to find love? Whew. That sounds great.
Do you recognize the name Lilith because you went to Lilith Fair back in the day?
Lilith is like, isn't that like Lucifer's wife or sister or something?
There's some biblical, I don't know. I was raised non-religious, so don't lean on me for this, man.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, I recognize it, Rob, and then you don't know.
Lilith is... Come on, dude. Yeah, Lilith is Adam's... That's what it is. Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden, but she refused to submit to him, and so then she...
Good for her.
Be goned. Yeah. But Lilith... Or I was going to spoil another book, so I won't. But Lilith is in another book that I read about 2 years ago, a year or two ago.
You should have just gone with my joke about because you went to Lilith Fair.
I went to Lilith Fair. Just cut all that out. I went to Lilith Fair, actually.
Knew it. Okay, so my next book that I'm going to talk about, I am not talking about these in, you know what? Yeah, I'm not talking about these in chronological order like Mitch is. I'm just going to go rogue. It's my podcast. Do what I want.
You do you.
Is Back for Blood, Back for Blood, Never Whistle at Night, Part 2, edited by Shane Hawk and Theodore C. Van Alst Jr., whom when Christopher Golden came through town recently and he had his event at Bucket of Blood in Chicago, that's when I discovered that Theo Van Alst is a Chicago person.
Nice.
So he was there and I met him, and
you guys have a bunch of like awesome authors.
I know, we're really but under the radar. Like there's back Never Whistle at Night, the first anthology was such an incredible breakout hit. Like it stayed on like lists forever and was like best selling and selling like crazy. And so they came out with a second one that's coming out August 18th. And what Theo said in that event that I was at was Never Whistle at Night, the first one, was not made specifically as a horror anthology, but it was indigenous dark fiction. Mm-hmm. He said that overwhelmingly what everybody talked about when they talked to him about that anthology was horror. So that's why this one's called Back for Blood.
Cool.
And apparently they just ramp up the horror. Like they really focused on horror specifically for part 2. So I'm excited about that book.
That's awesome.
And I recently read Matilda Zeller's It Looks Like You in the Dark, which comes out in October. And that is the novel length story that came from her story in the first Never Whistle at Night. So it's gonna be fantastic. Like that first anthology, amazing, breaking records for being such a high selling thing, and they apparently are really leaning heavily into horror for the second one. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah. Go, Mitchie.
Okay, here we go, guys. All right, so I've got 3. I'm just going to start with 1, but I've got 3 that come out on the same day. It's a jam-packed day, and this is August 18th. All right, and the first one I'm going to talk about, I first learned about this book at StokerCon at Librarians Day, which was awesome. If you're going to StokerCon next year, you have to go to Librarians Day because they talked about, there was probably like 6 panelists that were talking about, or maybe not quite that many, upcoming books for the year that they're looking forward to. And this was one that stuck out to me, and they had a bunch of arcs there. And it's called The Minimalist by Kailee Pedersen. And it's coming out from St. Martin's. And this book sounded so good. I've never read anything from Kailee before, but she is a classically trained musician, which music is a big part of my life. And so that speaks to me. And I think this is kind of a music book from what I can remember. So I'll read the back cover really quick. Let's see what I want to read. Okay. For fans of Tar, and The Piano Teacher, this gruesome and unsettling psychological drama is a darkly lucid portrait of a classical composer's descent into madness. Who doesn't love a good descent into madness, bro? That's honestly one of my favorite things is Descent into Madness. I will read some of this. As the last and greatest student of famed minimalist composer Ryder Wakefield, Mia Voss's rise to prominence in the insular world of classical music has long been assured. When Ryder dies unexpectedly, she inherits everything, including the unfinished manuscript of his final composition, the mysterious Death Fugue, music for orchestra. Haunted by memories of her tragic romance with Ryder's late son, Oliver. Like Mia, an Asian American adoptee, Mia leaves her girlfriend behind and returns to Ryder's home to finish his last work. There, Mia is forced to confront her complex relationship with Ryder, who hid his Jewish and gay identities to become one of the most important 20th century American composers. Her lingering guilt over Oliver's suicide and her own musical ambition as the manuscript begins to exert a disturbing, mesmerizing hold over her. Drawn from the author's own experiences as an adoptee and classical musician, The Minimalist is a harrowing examination of loss, torment, mental illness, self-harm, and artistic self-destruction. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Oh, it sounds so good. And something that I heard about this, like her prose in this book, is it's minimalist as well.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. Like that, like, you know, Brian Evanson is very good at like minimalist prose sometimes. So yeah, that's like, as soon as I picked that arc up, I wanted to read it, but I've had so much stuff that I've had to read.
Yeah.
But that's one that I'm reading right now. And I know this came out a little while ago, but on Sunday She Picked Flowers.
Yep.
By Schofield. Oh my God, that book's incredible. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I'm done with that, I want to read The Minimalist because that one's just been staring at me on my show. But yeah.
Yaya is really cool too. She joined one of my panels, and my girlfriend read on Sunday She Picked Flowers, and she would just randomly read parts of it to me. Yeah. And it's so gorgeously written, but also like really crazy, like horny in a way, I think. So nothing wrong with that.
No.
All right. My next one I'm going to talk about, we got to pick up the pace because we got a whole bunch of books left. Yeah. Is The Last House on Earth / Death Walks South Boston by Christoph Paul. So this is a shortwave release. This is your boss. Shortwave. And so it's 2 different novels in one book. It's like a flip. So The Last House on Earth is described as an abducted couple who love each other more than life itself, find themselves under the thumb of nearly omnipotent aliens. These aliens use a group of humans to navigate a celestial haunted house said to hold the secrets of life and death. Can the couple survive this house and the aliens to finally find peace in their love? So that's one of the books.
Sounds great.
That's The Last House on Earth. The other one, Death Walks South Boston. This is like a mummy fights criminals.
Nice.
A crew of outcasts, including a drug dealer and a struggling YouTube streamer, face an ancient ancestral evil that has come back from the dead to take over the world of the living. If they can't stop it, death will walk through the entire world and make it into its image. So I believe it is a mummy, but it's basically like this ancient evil.
That's awesome.
In Boston. That's where it wakes up to take over the world. So,
So funny.
yeah.
Christoph is wild, dude.
It sounds so weird, but
It does. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I get all of his books, obviously.
oh yeah, you have to, I'm assuming you do the annual.
Oh yeah.
There's no way you wouldn't. So,
No.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That comes out. That and Clay's book both come out August 11th. So within a few days of when this episode posts.
Nice. Okay, cool. Go buy those books, both of them. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is The Calamities by Chuck Wendig. And I'm going to be honest. If I see Chuck Wendig, I just know I want to read it. I don't even know that much about The Calamities, but I will read a very short little something. The heir to one of the world's most influential families reckons with the demonic secret of their power in this contemporary dark fantasy that melds occult magic with shocking family drama. From the New York Times bestselling author of The Book of Accidents. That book has things in that little thing that I like. Dark fantasy, love. Occult magic, yeah. Shocking family drama, can't get enough of it. So it sounds amazing, and it looks like a thick boy. So and we know I like thick boys.
And it's part of a duology. So,
oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Chuck about The Staircase in the Woods, we briefly talked about the duology, and there's a funny kind of naming situation because when him and I think he's with Del Rey were kind of locking in everything for the Calamities, that's when Alma Katsu's Fiend came out, which has a lot of similarities to what's going on in Calamities because it's like a rich family and there's some supernatural stuff tied to their power. I think that originally the first book was called Fiends, like plural.
Oh, no way.
And so in order to differentiate, there was, because I think that even in one of the descriptions, it mentions like fiends as like a thing. So he was talking about how they had to have a conversation about how do we make sure we're not overlapping Alma too much. So, it's a duology. So this is the first of two.
Sweet. Oh, that's awesome. Chuck's amazing.
And such a cool guy.
Yeah. I've never talked to him before, but I would love to meet him.
Yeah. You would not be disappointed. He's a down to earth dude, really fun, interesting guy. Yeah. My next book, I haven't read any of this series, so it's almost like a little bit of a confession that I'm even putting this one on the list, but it's the fourth book in the Clown in a Cornfield series. It's called Lights, Camera, Frendo. Fourth installment of Adam Caesar's Bram Stoker award-winning series. And this time Frendo goes Hollywood with all the blood, guts, and mayhem you'd expect from the series that spawned the blockbuster motion picture. So I'm just going to say Adam Caesar is pretty awesome in general. And
he seems great.
Yeah. I have all of the Clown in the Cornfield books somewhere in there. Yeah, like next to Chuck Wendig actually over there. So
Kismet.
I read his recent book Influencer and really liked it. I've read some of his older stuff. Just really happy to see. I've seen Adam for a long time for when he was like on indies and just like there. So to see him get such a large commercial success and have a movie made, and that movie was actually good. I enjoyed the movie. I just want to keep the conversation happening with him in this series and it's a YA slasher series. So come on. This is how you create newer generations of horror lovers. So, no way I wasn't going to talk about an Adam Caesar book.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, he seems like a really cool dude. Someone I would love to work with one day. So Adam, if you're watching this, let me know. Same with Chuck. Same with like all these people. Actually, to be honest. This next author I actually have worked with. Actually, sorry, I have worked with him a little bit, and then I have something coming out towards the end of the year with him, and that's Jonathan Janz and his book Marla. I actually have this book.
Do you have the original Marla?
I do, yeah. So it came out originally as an Earthling publication. It was a Halloween number 17. Really great book. Well, I haven't read it, but the book itself is very nice because Earthling always does nice books. And this is another one of those that like sells for buku bucks.
Yep.
On the secondary. But this one it always sounded really good to me. I just haven't had a chance to read it. So I'll just read this little flappy guy right here. Every small town has ghosts. King's Branch has Marla, a reclusive young woman who lives with her mother in a creepy Gothic house. Marla Gorman is the stuff of urban legends. Some believe she's a prisoner. Others claim she's a witch. So I'll just stop right there. But this book is getting a wider release. I can't remember who the publisher is. Is it Weird Tales? Is that who?
Weird Tales in conjunction with Blackstone.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, Blackstone. So I'm really happy for Janz to be getting like that book out to more hands and eyes because that book, I think the original was limited to 500 copies. I want to say. Yeah, 500 copies. And I mean, it sold out right away. And this is one that people are just clamoring for constantly. Yep. So I'm really happy for Janz. Another amazing guy. Super, super kind. Real name's Craig, so I can say happy birthday. And yeah, very much looking forward to that. And I hope it's a good seller for him.
He was at the Christopher Golden event at Bucket of Blood, and
yeah, he was. Yeah,
like I'd seen him a couple of times before, and so it was nice to see him again. And they did this thing where, so there was at that event there was like general hanging out, and then there was a panel, and then like book signings, and then a second panel and more book signings. And Jonathan moderated the first panel, and then did signings, and then when the second panel was happening, he left.
Oh, really?
So I went into that second panel thinking, oh, I'll catch up with the authors after this panel and, grab pictures and everything. And I come back out and I'm looking at the Bucket of Blood guy and I'm just like, where did everybody go? And he's like, I thought they were going to hang out.
That's hilarious. He's like, I'm not hanging out with Rob tonight.
No. So he's like, it was kind of cute though. He's like, oh, my 15-year-old's home alone for the first time or something like that.
Yeah,
so he was like, and he's such a strong family guy.
He is,
like he cares so much about his family that you could tell he was like really excited to be there, but like he was feeling that pull. So but this is actually kind of an interesting thing too, because in my June horror TBR episode, Marla was one of the books, and I think it got pushed back a couple of months. That's the only thing that makes sense because it was one of the ones that me and Clay talked about.
How funny
for my June episode. So I think
did Clay read this? Did he?
No, Clay didn't blurb it. He had not read it at the time we recorded. But it was one of his books, and we both kind of like. We were like, oh, we really want to read this for the reason you said is like it sold out immediately and it was limited, so no one could get their hands on it. But I always kind of connected that came out around the same time as Daphne by Josh Malerman.
Yep.
And so it was like the single name women with like their faces on the cover books.
I did read Daphne. Yeah.
Daphne is so good. Like,
yeah,
it needs people need to talk about Daphne more because
it does. Nobody ever talks about it.
That book is so good, though.
Yeah, it had some genuinely scary moments.
And
one moment was incredibly violent because it kind of felt like a YA, but there was one moment that it was very violent. Yeah. I remember that scene specifically.
There's is so good. Like he did such a good job. It was like, for me, it was like if like it was like a female Freddy Krueger almost. That's kind of how it felt like to me. Yeah. Oh, man, Daphne, such a good book.
Malerman's amazing. He's just fantastic.
I know. I haven't read Pictures of You yet, but yeah, there's nothing that I don't think the only thing I haven't read is Ghoul in a Cape.
Oh, you haven't read it?
Yeah, I was going through chemotherapy when that came out, and it was 1,200 pages. So like, it was a lift I could not handle.
Like a really, really terrible, insensitive joke. But I remembered we were recording, and I was like, I probably shouldn't. Now, Ghoul in the Cape is actually my favorite Malerman.
Wow. Well, you've got that special one, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Should I pull it out?
Yeah. I mean, of course.
We have to. I mean, we're here. Might as well.
We're here.
Actually, I have a super duper special Ghoul in the Cape.
Oh, I should look and see what number mine is.
I have the regular Ghoul in the Cape, and then I have the special one.
I'm number 140 out of 1,000.
Nice, yeah. So this is my Ghoul in the Cape.
Oh, you have the slipcase. Look at that.
There were not many of these made. I want to say there was like 15 or something. Let me see. It probably says it.
If you're 139, I'd be.
I might be.
Like, what?
No, I'm just kidding. This is number 7 of 13.
Oh,
nice. And Josh did like a little thing. So it's it's called a character edition. And it says, this book is property of Captain Vauclane, who knows not what he delivers, which is a character in the book. But yeah, I love this book. Absolutely love it.
I think I got like 60 pages into it, and I was like, my brain cannot handle this right now.
It is like being inside Josh's brain. So yeah, you need to be in the right headspace.
You can't be getting like poison injected into your body while you're trying to experience
chemotherapy while reading Ghoul in the Cape, especially because that book is so freaking heavy too. It's a big book.
Dude, I was having trouble walking up staircases, and I'm trying to pick up this 1,200 page book. Josh is great. All right, so that was Calamities.
Nope, that was Marla.
That was Marla. So, all right, the next one that I want to talk about is The Night Pool by Lauren Lee Smith. It's got like a really kind of like classic, fancy looking cover to it.
Cover.
This is released by Blackstone. It comes out on the 25th of August. This is a debut novel.
Cool.
And I'll read the shorter because like there's a lot on the back of that book. So and it's like 400 pages. But the quick synopsis is: The Night Pool is a blood-soaked, page-turning horror set in the gold-rushed West, where 3 women must battle monsters both human and inhuman to survive. Perfect for fans of Alma Katsu's The Hunger and Victor Laval's Lone Women. So from what I read of the back cover copy, it sounds like there's these like, so it's like Gold Rush West, like it says. And there's these women, and of course, like, women weren't treated the greatest, and they, still aren't. But like, you can imagine the types of like victimization that happened in the Gold Rush West. And so that's going on, but also there's some kind of monster or something, maybe supernatural, whatever, that is like terrorizing the community that they're in. And so they not only have to deal with like the problem with the men, but also the problem with this thing that is like killing people in their community. So it sounded really interesting.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So definitely thanks to Blackstone for sending me an advanced copy of it. And yeah, that one sounds good. So August 25th.
Very cool. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about, this is another one that I learned about at Stoker Librarians Day. And when they read it and I saw the cover, I was like, I need that. This is called The Burn Line by Jonathan Sims. Johnny Sims.
You're on a nickname basis with this guy already.
And I can't remember. I remember it was something about like a London train system. That's all I really remember. But the cover is badass. Look at that freaking skull.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so sick. And this is out by, who is this by? Coming out from Source Books. It's a HarperCollins.
Oh yeah, Source Books. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the hottest summer on record, and the city is suffering. Prices are high, pay is low. Sounds familiar. And on one fateful morning, 5 travelers find themselves trapped in a tube car deep in the London Underground. It will change their lives forever. By the time they leave the train, they will be bound together as witnesses to a single horrific event. Something terrible, irreversible, and monstrous. Something hungry. Something that none of them can remember. I'll just say that. There's more, but that's all I'll say.
This came up in the horror preview, like the second half of the year episode with Becky Spradford and Emily Hughes. And the thing that really hooked me was like they have to try to remember the horrible thing that they witnessed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds creepy as hell.
Cool. Yeah, I know. I really want to read this. Yeah. So this comes out August 25th. August 25th. 384 pages, in case you're wondering.
Not bad.
Yeah.
When are you going to have that done?
Probably tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Well,
just kidding.
Depending on how long this goes, I guess, right?
I got to read Minimalist first, and then I'm going to read the burn line.
All right, I've got one more, and this is in August 18th. So, like you said, the 18th is crazy. So the ones that are coming out, Back for Blood, that second Never Whistle at Night anthology is an 18th. The Frendo, Clown in the Cornfield book is the 18th. The one I'm about to talk about is the 18th, and then half of yours are the 18th. So that's like
Calamities, Marla, and Minimalist are all the 18th.
Yeah, so literally half of the books that we're talking about come out that freaking day. But this one I just stumbled across using Emily Hughes's Jump Scares website with her list of horror books that are coming out.
Yeah.
And it's called The Sleeping Sisters by Jennifer Givhan. And I didn't even see the cover. I read the synopsis and I was like, oh, this sounds great. So I want to look more into this. And then I clicked on the link and looked at the cover, and the cover is amazing. But here's what the book is about. A threatened mother and relentless detective collide in this mesmerizing novel from a rising voice in literary horror, perfect for fans of Gabino Iglesias, Carmen Maria Machado, Agustina Bazterrica, and Stephen Graham Jones. So I'm not getting a lot from that, but I'm going to show you the cover.
Yeah, the cover is freaking awesome. Yeah.
Oh it's my God. It's so stunning. Amazing. And so, let's see.
Who's publishing that one?
What's that?
Who's publishing that one?
It's on Mulholland, I think. Little Brown.
Okay.
I'm going to read this longer one. A mother's love is the oldest curse. Fortuna Mircoles has finally moved her family to a better neighborhood across the Rio Grande, desperate to outrun the curse that stalked her bloodline since her greatest grandmother crossed the desert with a cactus thorn splitting her throat. But burying a family's violent legacy or her own haunting secret isn't so easy. Every single fucking word sounds awesome. 20 years ago, girls and women vanished into the Albuquerque night, their bones later unearthed on the mesa. The so-called Reaper was never caught. Now, beneath the dormant volcanoes called the Sleeping Sisters, the killings have begun again, and they've called forth something in Fortuna that she has long fought to keep buried. Jesus, this sounds amazing. Detective Jeanette Palacio has spent decades promising justice to the ghosts of her murdered cousins, alongside the memory of the other women she couldn't avenge. When a new body turns up in Fortuna's backyard, both women are pulled into a dangerous ancient plot. Are the Sleeping Sisters awakening, or has someone in Fortuna's family set a trap? Inspired by true events.
What?
I know. The Sleeping Sisters begin as a taut mystery shot through with myth and a Chicana indigenous reimagining of the legend of the Headless Woman, but by its cataclysmic end has spiraled into a fevered, feral hymn to motherhood and a mesmerizing portrait of trauma and the monstrous bargain we make to protect those we love.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Oh my god,
Yeah, that
that
sounds
sounds
awesome.
incredible. And that cover,
That
I'm just
cover
like,
is unbelievable. I'm literally going to send that cover to Chris because,
yeah.
oh my god, that cover's incredible.
Oh, so yeah, that's a tribute to the power of Emily Hughes's list, because I was just like, oh, Mitch.
It's okay. You can confuse us.
Mitch sent me a list of 6 books. I got to get up to 6 because I had like 4. So I was going through that list, and I was like, oh, what's this about? And so, holy crap!
Yeah,
Holy
shout
crap.
out Emily Hughes.
Shout out to Emily Hughes. T. Kingfisher blurbed it: a marvelously strange story of murder and motherhood. I have no idea how to describe what I just read, but it was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
For T. Kingfisher to put it that way, knowing how
Yeah.
T. Kingfisher writes is like actually extra hilarious, and definitely makes me want to read it more.
Yeah, that's one I'm definitely going to be picking up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I have to have that just based on the cover alone.
So August 18th, the big 18, 818 is a
I
big
will
day.
be poor on that day.
I know.
I'm happy, but poor. Yeah, but poor.
Book rich.
All right, my last one. Oh my gosh, what a journey we've been on, Rob. What a journey. And my last book is a book that is part of a big series that is super fun, and everybody just has a good time, and they're shorter, digestible, and you just plow right through them. And it's the 8th book in the Killer VHS series, and it's called Tracking Death by Nikki R. Leigh. I believe this is a debut. Am I making that up? Hold on, let me see. I think this is her debut novel. If I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but quote me if I'm right. Then you can be like, nailed it. All right. So Tracking Death, like I said, 8th book in the Killer VHS. And if you've never heard of the Killer VHS, it's hailed as the modern day Goosebumps for adults by the horror obsessive, which is very accurate. Final Destination meets Sinister in this latest Killer VHS novella, Tracking Death, when a group of friends gather regularly to watch their favorite cult horror movie, recorded from a late night broadcast during their teenage years. But after their last rewatch, one of them ends up dead. Soon they discover this tape isn't just some harmless thrills and chills, and it isn't the same movie they saw last time. A new scene is eerily similar to their friend's recent death, and the following scene might just predict their next tragedy. Ooh, that sounds fun. That's like a summer horror, like just read it on the beach and have a great time.
And that's what I like about those Killer VHS books is like they're not. They know what they're trying to be, I guess is the best way to say it. Like they're going to be creepy and fun and like, they know
exactly
what they're trying to do, and they do it very well.
Yeah, and they're really cool. I love the way that they're presented.
Mm-hmm.
Alan always knocks that out of the park. I mean, it's like you're picking up a old VHS horror movie, in book form. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. And like I said, I get all of Shortwave's books, and that's one that I really want to read, especially because I think she's a debut. So.
There's a 50% chance that you know what you're talking about. Do you have like a pile of Shortwave boxes somewhere in your house? Because I know I do.
Yes, I do. I have. Well, it's a couple of them I use because I like those boxes. I think they look good.
Yeah.
And so I use them in my office. They're holding some Shortwave books because whenever they send those quarterly boxes, I mean they're pretty full of books, and I know this one's going to be pretty full.
Actually it is.
And Tracking Death is one of those books. Super hyped.
I'm gonna bring one of those quarterly boxes over to show you what I'm using it for.
Oh yeah.
And and I need to like start another one. But this is what I call my swag box.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's where I keep all the extras that come with stuff that I get sent. So there's a pile of letters from Mitch.
Oh, I love that.
Like, look.
That's so awesome.
I've got a toe tag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got all kinds of crazy stuff in here from like the years of just like random.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like swag box. I need to find something to do with some of the cooler things. Rapture sticker.
Is that the shiny or is that the white?
The white. Yeah. So Chris sent me. It says maybe get fucked or something, but on the back it's what he sent with Worry Box. So yeah, like I upcycled my quarterly box into a swag box.
Those are sweet boxes.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next quarterly box. Shortwave just does awesome stuff, and I know that you probably like are now somewhat more obligated to say nice things, but that wasn't going to stop me.
No, I ain't obligated.
You didn't need help, yeah.
No, it's so funny because I remember you had me on at one point. It's months ago, but you had like just interviewed Alan before, like the episode before or something. I think that was like our first Rapture party.
Yeah, I think so.
And I made a joke that Alan and I had the same start that I sold my record company, and you're like, really?
Yeah, and I didn't get the joke at first. Yeah, I remember that. Well, you played it so serious, like.
Yeah.
I'm a fantastic know your humor yet, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, now you know me. You would have gotten it right away now.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm happy that. So all right, so let's wrap up August. I almost said June.
Yeah.
August ended up being like a pretty significant month. I didn't do a July episode, and it was mostly because that's the month that my horror preview with Becky and Emily came out. So I didn't want to be like, oh, here's 2 preview episodes. So August ended up being a pretty star-studded month, but good Lord, September.
I know.
They need to do something about September.
It's because everybody's trying to get in the bookstore for October.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this whole like the trade edition stuff and like planning releases is a whole new ball game for me. And so I've been relying on Alan a lot on like when are good times to do a release and all that, because there is a definite science to it, which I was not privy to. I'm just used to living that limited edition life, and who gives a shit?
Right.
Whenever it happens, it happens.
Yeah, but now you have to have like, you have to have stuff planned out almost like a year in advance now. Like we have to have everything submitted, not the final manuscript, but all the metadata and stuff 9 months before release. So it's kind of nice, honestly. Like with what Alan was saying, whenever you're doing like indie stuff, doing it through Ingram Spark, you can do stuff, a couple weeks before release, like make major changes if you need to. But with this, like you're locked in. So it makes it easier because you have to have it so far in advance. So the release itself is pretty chill for the most part. Hopefully it's chill. Well, I'm just excited that when you first announced it, or when I first found out about it, because I think you told me ahead of time, and that's not just me like bragging. When I first knew about it, in my mind I was like, oh, you made Alan do all the work, and then you just showed up and took advantage.
Just riding on his coattails,
which
bro.
I 100% would do too. Like that makes so much more sense. But yeah, like knowing. So the thing that I think there's parallels between you and Alan is like the attention to detail, caring about putting out a really good product, and the kind of authors that you work with and approach it's very similar. There's a lot of symmetry between the two of you. So it just made sense to have you guys work together. When you decided to go into trade, that's such an uphill battle. Like that's like we heard from Alan, like it's years of struggle to get to a point where, and he had deep pockets from, I'm not trying to say like bro is rich or anything, but like, he had the benefit of being able to bankroll this situation in a way that not a lot of people do. So, everything just kind of worked out great. I'm so happy. Do you, have, because it's Rapture Trade. Mm-hmm. Is there a different logo?
So they're kind of, sort of. It's on the Arson art. This is the logo we'll be doing for the Rapture Trade. It's like the R and
okay, and like a is it like this?
It's like that one. Yeah. It's like that. And I think I put that on the yellow daytime art.
Yes, well. You did.
So that's gonna be the art. They're the paperback trade logo.
And since you're here and you're Rapture, you recently announced the last 4 books of 2026 that are coming out, the last 4 chapbooks. Yeah. So I'll see if I remember. Who was the one? You got Atesha Mosfeg. Did I say her name right?
Dude. Yeah, Atesha Mosfeg, yeah.
Mosfeg. And I saw that and I was like, excuse me?
I saw it and I said, excuse me?
So, like, how the fuck did that happen? Did you just like say, I'm going to send an email and it worked out?
Yeah, I a magician never reveals his tricks or illusions. The trick is something a whore does for money.
Or candy.
Or candy.
It's just a sneak preview of our eventual Arrested Development podcast.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait. I gotta brush up. I haven't watched through in a couple of years, so I'm gonna, even though I could quote that whole entire series. But yeah, so I have like mutuals with Atessa, and one of them is Brian Evanson.
Oh, there you go.
And I didn't like ask him to get me in touch with her. I emailed her. I got her email through a way. And I got in touch with her. And it was one of those situations where, and I've done this a few times to authors, and I just shot my shot. And I just kind of listed, I always try to tell, like, let them know up front that it's not like some rinky-dink thing that somebody's doing in their cloffice,
from some lowly cloffice somewhere.
So I list, and I made sure I had like Brian's name up there because she studied under him at Brown.
Oh wow!
And so I knew that they had a connection, and I knew that would give me some legitimacy when talking to her because she has a ton of respect for Brian. And also, I've worked with a lot of other very, very good authors. I don't know if she's not really in the horror world though. So I don't know if she knows many of the other authors that I've worked with.
Yeah.
But Brian for sure. And she was extremely nice. And responded, which I was not anticipating because I've had many emails that I send to people that just don't get responses. And I think that's kind of normal, I'm sure a lot of like big time authors get a lot of emails. But she responded and was super, super down to work with me. And I asked if it was cool if I had Brian do an introduction for her chapbook, and she was super excited about that. So yeah, that release, I'm just thrilled. I couldn't believe that she was down to do it. And I'm just super hyped. That was a big get.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, and then I'm thinking selfishly, like I'm in the secret lettered club. So you're
going to get a very, very rare Atessa Mosfeg book, which is super cool.
Yeah. You're like,
the arcs too.
I'm going to get the arcs too. Yeah. Like, and so like you're secretly going to make like 10 extras that you just hold on to, I bet. So
that I give to my kids.
Yeah. This is my 401k, everyone.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
That's how I retire.
that made me think of Phantom Limb coming out.
Yeah, dude.
I'd
I
invite you
can't
back for my October um, horror TBR episode, but I already gave that to Greg Green.
Well, luckily I love Greg Green, or else I would be very upset.
Yeah,
But I bet
but
you he's going to be talking about Phantom Limb.
he's gonna be talking about Phantom Limb. Probably he's gonna be talking about Off the Reservation by Stephen Graham Jones. Yeah. So, dude. All right. So, but aside from Atesha, you have Jonathan Janz.
Yes.
Came up earlier. Neil McRoberts, and there's another one.
Ramsey Campbell.
Ramsey Campbell.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Another one that I just shot my shot. And that was like at the very early days of Rapture. I had not gotten many people signed on.
Yeah.
He was down. But I think it's because, like I had worked with people like Brian and Philip. And yeah, he's super nice too. It's been cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also, he gave me like a style guide, which I had never received before from someone. I was like, oh okay. Fair, okay.
Bro, serious about the craft.
I was like, dude, these are chapbooks, dog. But yeah, it's been a really cool experience working with him. He's signing, or the signature sheets are heading his way right now. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, I'll have those back. And the signature sheets on those, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
especially the lettered. Oh my god, dude, they're sick. They're so sick. And speaking of lettered editions, this is the most recent one, Shadow Flowers.
Oh, that's such a good cover.
Yeah,
it is so good.
The rules. The thread, I haven't shared this anywhere, but the thread is yellow.
Nice. Looks great. Yeah. I had to, when I got my latest that's cool. A big old tongue.
Yeah, dude.
When I got my latest package from you, I had to do the backs, the numbers all stacked up. I think I'm the only person that does that, but it looks so cool.
I love it. Yeah, every time you do it, I get so excited. But you're missing one of them, right?
I'm missing, arcs. I have everything three.
Yes.
Let me just look. I'm just going to look at. I'm going to look at the post because I don't want to get it wrong. I have a pretty good collection. Let's see. My arcs, I go from 3 through 14. My my regular numbered editions, I go from 2 to 13. Okay. So that's everything.
You're missing number 1.
Yeah, and I've got Death Bus. I've got the numbered and the lettered.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for lettered, I have Death on the Swayback, Meat Ship, The Quality of Mercy, Maelstrom, Axum.
Because I think you started with Meat Ship.
To Be a Ghost, Resurrection, and Servitor. So started with Meat. No, you sent me Death on the Swayback.
Yeah.
And then
officially started with.
I officially started, and I've got like the marbled.
Yeah.
So I've got 7 marbled Dust Jacket. That's crazy. That's pretty great. It's such a cool collection.
It's dude, the Quality of Mercy Dust Jacket's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. I want to show you the Cry Room one but I have them in my press at the moment. Because I like to give them 2 days under pressure to like really get solid and like glued, dry, and not wrinkly. But dude, they're really, really dope. Really dope. So you'll be getting that here in like a week or 2.
I love it. Now I'm like in my mind, I'm like, who can I send your way to? But so I guess you've announced those 4. How far into 2027 are you planned?
I've got. Let me pull up my list. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 people booked in 27. 2 of those have like 3 of them have locked in dates. And then I am doing a special Death Bus that's going to be coming out in March or April or something. So that one's not going to be part of the series, but it's going to be a special. I mean, I'll get you one, obviously.
Obviously.
But yeah, I've got some really, really fun, unique things planned for the second book that I'm releasing next year. And it's insane. It's honestly might be borderline dumb, but we're going to do it. And because I'm a crazy person.
Says the guy who sent out arcs in a turpentine can. Might be borderline dumb.
This is up there with being so over the top, a little bit dumb, but it's not like so it's not like arts and crafts over the top. Like, who would ever do something like this? Like, it's a thing that people do, but for me to do it is a little. It could be a little funny, but we'll see. I think it's a brilliant idea, and we're gonna have some fun with it.
Well, I do want to acknowledge for the record that in a conversation with Chris and you, so there is a witness, you had committed to issue 93.
Yes,
will be a story written by me. So I just have to wait like 8 years or whatever.
We'll get there. I ain't too worried about it.
But you'll get a story from me, and Chris will do the art.
Oh yeah. Chris is locked in a contract for the next like 20 years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But what has he got going on anyway?
There's nothing going on. Who is he?
What is he? Who is
He's
Chris?
the Rapture artist. That's who he is. He's
the Rapture bitch. You're the Mitch. He's the bitch.
I'm the Mitch. He's the bitch.
All right, we're just rambling now, so we should probably wrap this up so we can talk really more, scintillating things when the recording ends. But all right, so that's going to wrap up this episode of the August Horror TBR. I want to thank you again, Mitch, for joining me and talking about books we're excited about. Like you said, I'm going to be poor too, especially on the 18th. So
August is nuts.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Rob. This was super fun, and everybody go buy all these books. Be poor like us.
Be poor like us. And until the next episode, always carry a book.